have you ever noticed small changes in your body and wondered if they're just normal aging or something more? As men get older, certain physical signs begin to show, some obvious, some subtle, and one you might even be able to smell before you see. These changes aren't just random. They're actually clear markers of how the body adapts over time. In this video, we're uncovering 4 telltale signs of aging in older men. One related to smell, 2 that get noticeably bigger, and 1 that becomes smaller. Some of these changes happen gradually, while others might suddenly catch you by surprise. When you look in the mirror one day, how many of these signs do you have? Stick around until the end, because you might discover something that explains a change you've noticed in yourself but never fully understood. Stay tuned, because by the time we finish, you'll have a better understanding of what's happening to your body and what, if anything, you can do about it. Now let's get started. Number 1, the unmistakable smell of aging. There's a certain scent that often accompanies aging, and if you've ever visited a senior living facility, you may have noticed it. It's not about poor hygiene or cologne choices, it's something much deeper, something that happens at the cellular level. As men get older, their skin undergoes biochemical changes, leading to the production of a compound called nonenal. This odorless to some, but noticeable to others, scent is created when fatty acids in the skin break down due to oxidative stress, and it has a slightly grassy, waxy, or even stale aroma. The challenge is that nonenal doesn't wash away as easily. It is regular sweat and oil. Unlike the usual body odors that come from bacteria, breaking down sweat, nonenal binds to fabrics, lingers on the skin, and resists being fully removed with conventional soaps. This explains why some men continue noticing the scent even after showering. While younger skin naturally regenerates and washes away excess oils, aging skin retains more oxidized fatty acids, allowing the scent to become more pronounced over time. Take Richard, a 74-year-old retired engineer. He started noticing that his shirts seemed to hold on to a certain scent, even after washing them. His granddaughter once told him, "Grandpa, you smell like books and wood," a surprisingly common way people describe this odor. At first, he assumed it was his cologne or laundry detergent. But when switching products didn't change anything, he realized his skin itself had developed a new scent. He wasn't alone. Studies show that people over 40 begin producing nonenal in small amounts. But by the time men reach their 70s, it becomes much more noticeable. But here's the good news: while you can't stop the body from producing nonenal, you can reduce its buildup. Certain soaps, especially those designed to remove excess oils, are more effective at neutralizing nonenal than regular body washes. Antioxidant-rich foods such as green tea, citrus fruits, and leafy greens may also help reduce oxidative stress and slow the process. And because nonenal clings to fabrics, washing clothes in baking soda or using odor-neutralizing sprays designed for aging skin can make a significant difference. So if you've ever wondered why your scent has changed over the years, now you know. It's not your imagination, and it's not just about hygiene. It's a natural part of aging that every older man experiences at some point. Number 2, a bigger belly that won't budge. A growing midsection is one of the most common signs of aging in men, and it's not just about eating a little too much or skipping workouts. As men get older, their metabolism naturally slows down. Muscle mass declines and hormonal changes make it easier to store fat, especially in the abdomen. You might have noticed that even if you're eating the same way you did in your 40s or 50s, your waistline keeps expanding. That's because testosterone levels decrease over time, and with it, the body's ability to maintain lean muscle. Since muscle burns more calories than fat, this shift leads to a slower metabolism, meaning extra calories turn into belly fat much more easily than before. For some men, it's not just about appearance, it's about how it feels. Maybe shirts fit tighter, bending over is harder, or carrying extra weight makes movement less comfortable. Take Frank, a 76-year-old who was always lean in his younger years. Even though his diet hadn't changed much, he suddenly noticed his belly sticking out more, while his arms and legs seemed thinner. He blamed it on aging at first, but what he didn't realize was that his body was redistributing fat, storing more in his abdomen while muscle mass in his limbs decreased. The problem isn't just aesthetic. Studies show that excess belly fat in older men increases the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Unlike fat stored elsewhere in the body, abdominal fat is more metabolically active, releasing inflammatory chemicals that affect everything, from blood pressure to brain health. That's why men with a larger waistline in their 70s and 80s often experience higher levels of fatigue, joint pain, and even sleep disturbances. So, what can be done? First, resistance training is one of the most effective ways to counteract muscle loss and keep metabolism from slowing down too much. Second, prioritizing protein in your diet helps maintain lean mass while keeping you full longer, making it easier to manage your weight. And third, avoiding processed carbohydrates and added sugars can help control insulin levels and prevent further fat accumulation. While gaining some belly fat is a natural part of aging, Allowing it to grow unchecked can lead to serious health risks. And if you've noticed your midsection expanding despite eating and exercising the same way, it's not just your imagination, it's your body adapting to the natural hormonal shifts of aging. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, the mystery of growing ears. You might not notice it right away, but your ears are actually getting bigger as you age. Unlike muscles that shrink or fat that redistributes, the ears keep growing well into old age, and it's not just your imagination. This happens because cartilage, the flexible tissue that makes up most of your outer ear, continues to grow throughout your life. At the same time, gravity pulls the ears downward, stretching them over the years and making them appear even larger. If you've ever looked at an old photograph and thought, wait a minute, my ears didn't look this big before, you're not wrong. Studies have shown that ears grow by about 0.8 inches per decade, meaning that by the time a man reaches his 70s or 80s, his ears can be noticeably larger than they were in his youth. The difference might not be dramatic from year to year, but over the decades, it adds up. Just ask George, a 78-year-old retired teacher. He always had proportionate ears in his younger years. But one day after looking at an old picture from his wedding, he was shocked to see how much they had changed. His ears weren't just larger, they looked longer and droopier. What's more, he noticed that his earlobes, once firm and rounded, had become thinner and stretched out, making his ears appear even bigger. This is something almost every older man experiences, but very few talk about. Unlike other parts of the body, cartilage doesn't stop growing, and the skin around it loses elasticity, causing ears to elongate over time. While this change isn't a medical concern, it does affect appearance, and for some men, it can even make them feel self-conscious. So, what can be done? While you can't stop cartilage growth entirely, maintaining good skin elasticity by staying hydrated, eating collagen-boosting foods, and protecting your skin from excessive sun exposure may help slow down the drooping effect. And if earlobes seem thinner or wrinkled, applying moisturizer and using vitamin-rich skincare products can help maintain their texture over time. At the end of the day, growing ears are simply a part of aging, just like wrinkles or gray hair. It's not a sign of poor health. It's just nature's way of making sure you still hear the world around you. Number 4, the disappearing calves. As men age, one of the most noticeable changes happens in the legs, specifically the calves. You might have looked down one day and realized that your once strong calves don't have the same shape or size they used to. It's not just about losing weight. This is actually a common sign of aging called muscle atrophy, where muscle mass gradually declines over time. This change happens for a few reasons. First, as testosterone and growth hormone levels drop, the body naturally loses muscle faster than it can rebuild it. Second, many older men become less active without realizing it. Even if you still walk every day, you may not be engaging your calf muscles the way you used to, especially if you no longer run, jump, or do heavy lifting. And third, the circulatory system changes, leading to reduced blood flow in the legs, which can further contribute to muscle loss. Take Robert, a 75-year-old who spent most of his career on his feet. He always had strong, well-defined calves, but in his late 60s, he noticed they were getting thinner and weaker. Even simple tasks like climbing stairs or standing up from a chair without using his hands felt harder. He chalked it up to aging, but the truth was that his muscles were shrinking due to inactivity and hormonal shifts. Losing muscle in the calves isn't just about appearance, it has real consequences. Weak calves can affect balance, increase the risk of falls, and even contribute to slower walking speed. Studies have shown that men with reduced calf muscle mass tend to struggle more with mobility in their later years, making daily activities more difficult. That's why maintaining lower body strength is one of the biggest factors in staying independent as you age. The good news? You can slow down muscle loss, even reverse some of it with the right exercises. Simple activities like calf raises, resistance band training, and even brisk walking on an incline can help rebuild muscle fibers and improve circulation. And don't forget about protein intake. Eating enough lean meats, eggs, or plant-based protein sources can support muscle maintenance and recovery. So if you've noticed your calves looking thinner or feeling weaker, don't ignore it. This is one of those aging signs that can be improved with effort, and taking action now can help keep you strong and mobile for years to come. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. Now that we've covered these 4 subtle yet telling signs of aging in men, Take a moment to reflect on how many of them you've noticed in yourself or others. Aging is a journey, and while some changes are inevitable, understanding them gives you the power to take better care of yourself. Whether it's staying active to maintain muscle strength, paying attention to skin changes, or simply making small adjustments to your routine, these little efforts can go a long way in helping you age with confidence and vitality. Aging isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace with the right mindset and habits. Every wrinkle, every shift in your body, and even the subtle scent of time tells a story of experience, resilience, and wisdom. Instead of worrying about these changes, focus on what you can do to stay healthy, strong, and feeling like the best version of yourself. So, what stood out to you the most? Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself? Or are there others you've observed that weren't mentioned here? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.